Okay, I think this is better. Hello and what is up everyone, and welcome to today's video. My name's Ash, I'm 20, I live in France. That's basically all the information you need to know about me. So yes, so I don't know how long this video will be. I don't think it will be that long, but I wanted to go through what my morning routine looks like. Obviously I'm doing all in one shot, so I'm not gonna show you exactly what it looks like, but you will roughly understand pretty easily as I explain everything of how it goes. So yeah, so the first thing I do is I wake up at, well, I attempt to wake up at 5 a.m, but I do set up 3 other alarms on top of that. One for 5:10 a.m, one for 5:20 a.m, and one for 5:30 a.m. Now, the reason why I do this, I usually pretty much wake up within the first 10 minutes, but I have the extra time um, because sometimes my brain just does not activate as quickly, especially with how early it is, and sometimes I do go to bed a little bit on the later side, especially with the weekend that's just passed. Like, that did not help me. So yeah, but so yes, that's why I've got that. On top of that, it gives me a time frame of when I should make myself some breakfast, as by the time it's 5:30, I like to just get breakfast out of the way, or maybe do the dishes and then get breakfast. Or usually I like to do breakfast, put it like on my bedside, because I do eat in my room for like um breakfast, specifically because no one else is awake. And my room's like just next to the living room, so it's just kind of like, I don't know. But yeah, so I do that, and then I do dishes, then I come back and eat, or like clean the floors or whatever. I like to do one chore before I go, and this may seem like optimism, like, oh my god, I'm lying. This is genuinely what I have been doing since last week when I wake up, because I have an hour and a half to, wake up, get myself ready and everything. I could probably easily do everything within half an hour if I really set my mind to it, but I like to have that sweet time, go slow with things, etc. When I eat, I like to watch The Witcher, or I just listen to music. Sometimes I'm not in the mood for visual stimulants, things to stimulate my mind, so to speak. Um, so yeah, I just listen to music, and it usually wakes me up as well. Yeah. After that, by 6 o'clock, I do have another alarm for 6 o'clock, and this is purely because at 6 o'clock, that is when I get myself ready. I get myself ready to go, um, like, to, get myself ready to, like, get clothes on, make sure I've got everything. As for example, on weekends, I wash my clothing that I have from work, and obviously where I work in the mornings, and there's not that many there's not that many clothes that I need to have, like the uniforms already set there, but we're allowed to bring it home and clean it ourselves. It's just a lot more like, I have to think a bit more, but I honestly don't mind it that much, I don't think. Purely because at least I know it's the products I like, because I do have some allergies. Not allergies, but I get irritated with some certain products, and I don't think that's great. So yes. So I make sure I got everything in my bag, get my music ready, because even though it's a 7-minute walk from my place, I do like to have some music to just calm me down, like get myself ready for the day, etc. And then I leave about 6:30, in which I go to the compound that we dispatch from, and essentially I get myself ready there. Like, I get out of my day clothes and go into my work clothes, because they have changing rooms there. And then after that, I I end up going to read a bit. This is what I've done today. I don't necessarily do this all the time. Sometimes I'm just not in the mood to read. But today I ended up reading about 35 pages before we got called by the boss, in which he explains where we're supposed to go, what we're supposed to do, as the task can vary every single day. Today and Friday, I did a lot of picking up items off the floor, and that was pretty fun indeed. And it just keeps me on my feet. I was chilling, and yeah, we were doing that. On top of that, what was I doing? Yeah, that's literally it. We usually get back from work because this is all around the sector of the city that I'm designated to. The compound's designated to a certain sector, so wherever I basically there's a certain area of the sector that I have to do each part, like each task or whatever. That's what I end up doing. So I basically end up doing doing cleaning. I've also done lawn mowing, but that was more of a training day, as I'm not the best at that just yet, but I'm still figuring it out. So yeah. On top of that, honestly, no, I don't think. Yeah, so we do about up to about 11:30 we work. So between 7 is roughly when they tell us what we're doing. Then about 7:15 is when we're prepped to go out, and then 11:30 is when we come back, or like get ready to come back. And we usually get picked up by a van or a truck or what have you that is from the compound, and we go back to the compound, and then usually we hang around for a bit. I like to pick up things with my pink chair if I've got it on me, and I just do this purely so then I can just occupy my time. Some people, they just end up chatting and what have you, but we do that until we're told when we can get ready, like get changed, which is about 10 to roughly, you know. Yeah. And then about midday is when we're legally allowed to leave, and we do leave literally on the point of midday. So that's a pretty, you know, it seems, I mean, it is pretty easy of a job. There's people that complain a lot. I complain about the complainers who complain on the job. Um, and I understand that it is minimum wage, but it is also temporary because the goal is to find another job in the meantime, because that's kind of the contract we've signed. Even though it's temporary, they're helping us to get a different job. This is just to fill up our CVs and stuff. So honestly, I think, you know, I'm quite enjoying the experience so far. I know it's technically not even been a full week yet. It will be a week on Wednesday, but technically if we're talking 7 days of work, it'll be on Friday. So yeah. But I started on a Wednesday, so yeah. But yeah, I've been finding it pretty nice. Not necessarily easy, actually. No, a little bit. Yes, I'm indecisive about it so far. Obviously, I'm still adapting to it. I think timing wise, I'm waking up pretty easy. The people that started literally the same day as me, they're not surviving as much when it comes to waking up on time and actually getting there. But I do believe that they do live further away than I do. I literally live right next door, so I don't have to leave until like quarter until 15 minutes before I'm supposed to arrive, so to speak, to get ready and stuff. So yeah, we're chilling. Anything else I need to mention? No, I think that's pretty good. When I get back, well, Usually by just before the end of my shift, I like to read a little bit because we have that filler time of like when we've gotten out of our uniforms. We've got about like 10ish minutes because we do literally leave on the dot. And I think it's usually like 45 past 11 or something is when we're allowed to go and get changed. So there's that filler like 10 minutes or so. I read today. Currently reading The Odyssey by Homer, which I feel like that's a pretty good book thus far. It's quite an easy read. The one that I've got, the edition that I got, is like big wording, in my opinion, so I'm not like squinting my eyes at this. So yeah, but I personally, yeah, I've been enjoying it, honestly. I have no complaints thus far. Of like nothing serious has really occurred, because with this job, unfortunately, there are always complaints, are always things that can go wrong. Like because it's city maintenance, people always assume that we're in control of what we do. Like not necessarily. Like if something's happened, like on the other side of the city, I personally can't do much about that. Like, yeah, so usually you have to kind of call up the head office, not the head office, but the compound and the people, the higher ups, essentially. So yeah, it's a little bit like, and sometimes people get heckled, or just yelled at for no reason, just things like that. That's apparently happened many times. I've not had any experiences like that, but I've only just started, so who knows. But yeah, I find that I feel like the only improvement they could do if it comes to the uniform specifically, literally over the sushi a little bit, so sorry about that. Maybe include more t-shirts. There's 3 t-shirts. I sweat a lot as a person. Like I'm a sweaty person by nature, so maybe have a couple more t-shirts, one for each day maybe, since we're bringing it home. I don't know, but we are allowed to wear our own t-shirts, our own clothing if it's grey. I just don't have any grey clothing, so doesn't really help me there. So yeah, but that is all I have to talk about, honestly, which is not much now I think about it, but that's okay, we're chilling. So yeah, I think in the next video I'm going to be doing a quick reading session, as I have still a big chunk of books to read, and I'm gonna record it right after this one, so I don't have to record for an extra day. Double whammy. So that is probably what I'm gonna do. Now I have a little reading session of like one of these comic book things, and yeah, it'll just be vibes, because I do want to explore things that I genuinely interest me in trying, or experimenting with. And I also realized that I've been posting videos every single day, attempting at least, but that is purely because I've kind of found motivation, and it only fills up a little bit of my time, or like it's just something that I can do. So yeah. But for those who don't know, I'm trying to get to 50 subscribers. Very like difficult task for someone who wasn't really as regular, and now I am when it comes to posting things. Well, I'm trying. It might just be a 2-week phase, who knows. But I think making it as easy as possible for myself gives me less burnout on this. The beeps! Oh my Jesus. Okay. So the beeps are normal. we hear this like every day, bro. And sometimes they let off fireworks. Okay, going back to the subject. But yeah, I'm trying my best to get to 50 subscribers, so then I can start doing live streams, as that is the bare minimum that you're supposed to have for doing live streams. And so if you are interested in the random stuff that I post, and just wanting to get to know me and so forth, or like even just wanting to talk to someone, I personally am attempting to like get to that point. Attempting. Who knows if that'll actually work out. But I just really want to get to that point, get to know people, and I've got a project in mind for those conlang nerds that are on my side. If you're ever watching, I am actually planning on doing a conlang specifically for the live stream, or at least a few live streams or so forth, and I've not even written a single thing about it yet. I do have a general concept, but again, I'm gonna actually write stuff down when it comes to going live. So that's kind of the goal. So, needless to say, hopefully you all enjoyed watching this video. If you like my stuff, I'm gonna try and post every single day. Like, try being the key word, and just try my best to do stuff. Obviously work will get in the way sometimes, which is why tomorrow I might end up having a break from recording, but that's why I record really in advance. Like I'm 2 videos in advance, so I don't have to record for maximum 2 days, so yay. But hopefully, yeah, y'all enjoy this video, enjoy your day, enjoy your evening, enjoy your night, enjoy your food if you're eating. Make sure you have water. We need to stay hydrated in this heat of a day. Unless you're in Australia, then, you know, get warm, or like in Oceania specifically, that continent, or just the southern hemisphere. Now I think about it, sorry. Yeah, just keep warm or keep cold or whatever, I don't know, your choice. But yeah, have a good day, bye.